You'd think after casting these two hundreds of times, I'd know what to expect. Honestly, I have no clue in this series. One and all, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Age of Empires for Action. Game number 3 of our Grand Finals. 2 games so far have delivered 2024 recap-worthy experiences. What have we got in store the third time around? Kalauga is where we're heading. That's right, Age of Mythology fans might notice this one. This is a recent addition created by Kaivayo. It should be seen, I believe, in the 2v2 tournament coming up from EGC. But we beat him to the punchline. We got the first tournament with it. So, for those that don't know, Kalauga from Age of Mythology is infamous for its shoreline fishing, or rather fishing in general, that you have to play into. We have that here. We have got some fisheroos to be grabbed. It is all going to be shoreline, and it is all shallow water. So although you're hearing, oh my god, fishing water, it's not the be-all, end-all. There is more to that dynamic. It's not just won by boats. In fact, we've had 1 or 2 games on here so far that we've cast, and although there was attempts at fishing, they usually didn't go well, and they definitely weren't able to get aggressive boats out. WAM is going to be opening onto that water, though. As you'd expect out of Japan, they get very cheap fishing boats, only 45 wood each. If we do have a mod in chat, can they start the predictions? Otherwise, apologies, I'll just have to do it for game 4. But yeah, Malians versus Japanese is an intriguing one, actually. I think Japan can do reasonably well here. It's kind of fast castle on a fast castle, right? And then it's Zerg versus quality Zerg, but the quality Zerg is slower to produce. I do rate the idea of Japan playing H2, though. And I'm wondering if we're going to see it out of WAM. This is sick. He got the gold stone spawn. This is really important, guys, because it makes you very efficient for an Uma Bannerman opening. Remember, by gathering some stone, you can quickly get into your daimyo. That gives you access to a heavy cavalry unit of feudal, which you can use to pressure your opponent's gold. But I think Puppy Paw is a bit paranoid about that happening. Wait, have we got a Saharan into the deer? Yo, he's going aggressive for the big gold vein. That's crazy. I mean, Kalauga already delivering something different. We don't really tend to see this out of the Malians. Really cool concept, though. Secures the deer, which is close to what you'll get from the cattle anyway, so you save the gold. Then you've got the big gold vein, which you can surround to generate more than what you'll get on housing out of the pit mine. And he's still also got berries on top of that to just make it that bit more juicy. Okay, this is a really cool game. And we're probably going to be getting Coca usually in response to this, but now that it's the Saharan Trade Network, WAM may need to reassess in Gokura. Other cool thing about this matchup, someone mentioned about Onobugishi spam. That was a cool meta that came in at first when Japan could actually play feudal. It was all about outplaying counters, right? So usually Malians would open javelins and donzos. What's the counter to that? Onobugisha. Onobugisha horsemen counter that. They're fast as well, so they gap close and kill. And then you're forced to go archers, which you never really want to do in feudal as Malians, to try and counter. But if you go archers to counter the Onobugisha, the horsemen still counter you. So it's really awkward, the dynamics that would unfold there. And because Malians don't really hang out on the map, they wouldn't see it coming. But players started to adjust really well, and I think the meta moved away from just bulking Jav Donzos relentlessly to the point that it felt a little bit too risky of an all-in, and most Japanese players just fell back to the fast castle build. And we are going to be getting that fast daimyo. So Coca Township into Stables drop is what we should be seeing here, folks. Kind of cool that he still went Coca. A little bit dangerous, though, because look how close Puppy Paw is going to be with all these villages. If you Shunshin in, you're going to die. Remember, this has Javelin emplacements. Sure, you're not really going to build range units, so it's not going to be the +4. It's still a powerful 12 damage with a lot of range. And we have him completing the pit mine behind this. This also kind of makes it very hard for WAM to rotate unseen. If you check the vision, like he sees to the tree line on both sides, right? So you're going to have to go very wide with the Shinobi if you want to smuggle in. Even if you do, what are you really going after here? Is this 2 TC? Oh my god, he's actually doing 2 TC. That's quite interesting, actually, in response to what Puppy Paw's done. Because Puppy Paw's opening, because he didn't go Mansa, if he tries to fast castle, he's going to be slower. And you guys know what the counter to this fast castle Malian strategy has always been, right? For a long time now. Malians hate nothing more than civs that are able to rush second TC. Because it's hard to reach your castle age with full eco before your opponent builds like a 10-villager lead. So quite crafty out of him. And yep, there it is, confirmation in. It's a second town center on the deer, on the berries. Another cool thing about putting this next to the berries, guys, is that Japan's berry gathering rate got buffed more than any other civ. right? Because they decreased the Abbasids and the Ayyubids one slightly. They buffed the base rate. They didn't change the percentage that Japanese get. It's still 25% per level. Malians could go Farimba into improved Musafadi. I don't think you go Musafadi here. The problem with going Musafadi is, like, realistically, even if your opponent does build into Samurai, which is, why would he? He can counter you with Odachi, which kind of mirrors out. But the better play is you just go Onabagisha. With enough food, you can just spam Onabagisha, and the Mansa Musafadi do nothing. I don't think this is a matchup where you do Farimba. Outpost being rushed up, only the first Javelin arriving. Did Puppypaw, he set up the forward infrastructure. I think Puppypaw is going to try to all in him in Feudal. Kind of makes sense when you look at the spawn as well. The gold, the second one's really far out there. So if Puppypaw does try to stress this position and keeps a unit guarding the back golden berries, there's a risk that Wham is a goldless Japanese. And for anyone who's played Japanese without gold, it feels good when we're talking about rank, but it doesn't feel good when we're talking about the resource. Rax is coming in as well, so he's going to try to layer the cake. And this is fast castle rush now from Wham, so he's going to try to get there expedient fashion. Likely going to be seeing mounted samurais and opener, because even when you see Donzos, you don't really care to begin with, because you can just raid the flanks and then eventually overwhelm. Why is he going Javs? Because he needs to kill villagers. The logic here for him is that his opponent has got a lot of economy, and he's going to have to move out. And if you think about what is the best raiding unit you can build efficiently in Feudal as Malians, Sofas are pretty expensive. Warrior Scouts are going to be kind of eh. Donzos, why? Right? Like, you want them, but it's for what happens next as the enemy cav. The Javelins can just snipe. So I think Puppypaw's logic is this is better than building archers for killing units when your opponent is hiding under static defenses. The alternative would have been to go blacksmiths into siege engineering, but that has a cost to it and a delay. This allows him to immediately start attacking. You think Mansa Musafadi have way too much armor? I'm not sure against Onabagisha. What is it? I'm trying to remember the number for Mansa Musafadi. Isn't it just +1 extra armor for melee? Or is it 2? Even then, you have an extra melee tech. Wait, was Mansa 4? Am I smoking something? I don't remember Mansa Musafadi being 4 armor. I have to double check that. If it is, you're right. You have to play in, like, Odachi. But even then, like, you could potentially just play Mount. I think if your opponent goes Mansa Musafadi, the original 4, you just go Mount Samurai. Because you cycle charge him, right? You just need so many. And the problem with, like, rushing Farimba, if you don't get the right matchup, a very good matchup, you don't have the economy to Zerg as efficiently as you'd think. Flying Gate now on the way. So we're going to see that quality Zerg coming soon. Free melee armor. Okay, thank you, Berries. I think they buffed it. Wasn't it 2 on pop? So yeah, okay, Onabagisha doesn't work, you're right. But I think you can still just go for Samurai. Onabagisha aren't terrible though, right? Because they have much better attack point than Musafadi. And Musafadi have 9 base damage in castle with Mansa. Whereas Bagisha can get to like 10, I think more with the Katana Bannerman. Puppypaw has to be aware it's coming. It's smuggled away though, so he doesn't have full conf yet. He's checking flank resources. Shinobi is still being annoying on the backside of this. Puppypaw already behind by 10 workers though. You know, if this doesn't work, if he has to fall back, it is going to have to be Farimba, and it's not because it's ideal. It's because you don't really have the time to go for Fulani. He only has 1 ranch up. He's going to be so late to filling that. Like, by the time you have your Fulani building, Wham could have 8, 9 Mount Samurai. That happens, you're getting dove. It's going to be a block around the fishing. Wham not willing to invest in an archer ship to protect this. Problem is the Javelins would kite you and slowly whittle you down. I mean, in fairness, this count wouldn't be able to kill you against the heal, though. Let's see what's going to be. Of course, stables, as usual. So Mount Samurai will be on the way soon. Archer ship now coming in. Yeah, I think you just realized he doesn't have that much time. If he goes archer ship, it'll be on fire. So Demo's going to be coming out. Need to be careful with the Javelins. Donzos can survive a blast. Javelins cannot here. And good split as well. Puppypaw already aware of what's about to happen. So Demo comes out. Detonates, does kill one of the Donzos and Scouts. Actually, that reduces the torch damage heavily, but the problem here is, do you have enough time for the junk? It's probably going to go on fire, but the archer ship should better clear the way for a repair. Yorishiro drop is there on the stables, and we do have a Rax follow-up alongside this. Dive comes in, so gold getting outed out, but we already have a shift to the north side. Doc is now on fire, so he's going to have to bring a villager out for a rebuild. Archer ship should just about get out, though. So, you know, if he kills 2 Donzos, it's worth the investment, I think. We do have another Doc queued up. A lot of villagers being pulled, so that will not be denied. Behind this puppy paw. Where's the cow, man? This is not the full quarter pounder I was promised, okay? You tried to smuggle in some vegan type burger here. I don't see enough beef. Donzo, ooh, not able to get the kill. Samurai are trying to delay this. Outposts are being built up. Wham has too many villages here, though. Puppy Paw does need to dive through if he wants to get it, though. The problem here is if you dive into this outpost, you're going to lose the Donzos, and then the mounted samurai kill you. So Puppy Paw can't overextend here. We're going to get the Javelin sniping a few villies. It's still a 12 villager lead currently. Pit mines have been helping offset that a little bit, and we do have it on the way. Grand Fulani, but it's not a full Lani. It's a half Lani. Has to be here, right? Like, I think Puppy Paw's made the right call. If he stays an age behind any longer, the relics are going to start coming home. The TC is going to really start to show itself in value, and Wham will just win 5 minutes from now. So this is his way out. We talked about the issue of waiting for a full ranch, is that there will be 10 plus mounted samurai coming towards your base. Good luck holding that, right? So yeah, bit of a tough decision, but honestly the right one. Sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it, right? The classic saying in life. And it's the same in RTSs, you know, you can't do everything. What do you mean? My pun was fantastic. How dare you, sir? Samurai are going to be coming in, but because it's so early, Wham doesn't really have the mass for a dive. So Puppy Paw able to get the tech. Behind this, we do have Samurai in the way. Now, Puppy Paw did scout that. And I think the first thing on his mind should be Samurai, not Onabagisha. In fairness, Onabagisha works really well against his comp, but with a tech transition, you're probably expecting your opponent to lean into Sofas, which can really ruin Onabagisha, remember. Like, they have so much armor, Bagisha do no damage. Let's have the Donzos chasing away the mounted samurai. So Wham's going to have to put everything into this transition. He doesn't have farms. Remember, he made an awkward choice to go for the Coca, one that I'm not sure was entirely worth it. As a result, he doesn't have all those farms for free to now move across into. Relic is going to get blocked. Only one home so far. He does get the early revelation of the samurai. Musafadi queued up as a result. Wham does have gold for the time being, but when you go into these type of comps, Samurai, Mountain Samurai, the gold doesn't last long, right? Japan, I think, is one of the civs that's most heavily punished by a lack of gold access in the game. You might start to feel that lack of access soon. Sofa's queued up. This is looking, I think, pretty good for Puppy Paw, actually. I mean, the Fulani's going to continue to gain more value as it fills out. He's got pressure on the map. He's blocking the fishing. It's a little bit annoying from the junk ship does show up, and well, the fishing boats can repair to protect this if they get pulled. Ooh, one more Donzo would have actually been enough. But fishing repair is going to be there. Okay, there's the more Donzos. Sadly, a little bit too late, so Puppy Paw wasted effort there. Needs to get the troops together. Could contest relics, but right now doesn't have the capacity as he's building into bulk. Remember, guys, think of it this way. Quality Zerg versus quantity Zerg. That's what this matchup is. Wham the Euroshiro is trying to get good units out fast. Puppy Paw, being Malians, is trying to get a lot of units out fast. You see the Swarm's value here. Just overwhelmed. Sure, quality in theory, you'd think it would win if it's similar numbers, but the problem for Wham is he's spreading quite wide, right? He's got the Cav roaming around their own. Samurai are slow to engage. It's buying time for Puppy Paw to get in these sofas, and there's the farms we talked about. I mean, Daimyo is at least being leveled up, so they're made to be a bit better. And what am I seeing? We have a Siege Workshop. Mangoes, we've seen it a bit against Malians in this tournament so far, actually. It kind of makes sense against the Javelins, but like not entirely. I think the issue for Wham is he needs a backline unit, and you can't build Onimusha, they're pointless. You can't build Yumi against Javelins. Why? Right? Like, realistically, you could have built Yumi against Musafadi, but the Sofa guarantees you won't. So your only options are Springolds or Mangoes, and I don't think you want to build Springolds here because the annoying thing that Puppy can do is hide the units that would actually get countered. I don't think Springolds really work against Musafadi. In theory, they do because of the lack of health, but because of the mobility, it's very hard to catch Musafadi blobbing the way that you'd efficiently attack. I wonder if he considers a Treb as well to deal with the center. Sofa Raid coming in. Oh, not going to be quick enough from Wham. There is no import armor, so a little bit early from Puppy. It's coming through now, but it does mean he's going to lose some cav first. Does buy time now for the Spearman to react with those Samurai. No wall on the backside, so an easy shuffle out. And a nice raid here from the Musafadi. They do get on the berries. The map is getting uncomfortable for Wham. And you see the quantity Zerg starting to win out here. Because now Wham has to go for his quantity. Onibigisha actually can beat most of this comp, bar the Sofa, if you have the economy. Doesn't have that many farms yet. We do have a sneak for relics. Okay, that's actually really creative from Wham. He had this guy down here to build the docks, right? Now he can snatch 2 relics. Puppypaw might not be aware of it because Puppypaw hasn't gone for relics. He's only been fixated on stopping relics being picked up. That's going to be, what, 4 relics for Wham? The walls are really important here as well. Like, Puppypaw will be able to break through them, but it buys a little bit of alarm for Wham to react. You almost wish you could just afford a stone wall here, because then if you're just fixated on, say, the east side and the center, this lack of dynamism with your force, the slow-moving army, can win. One's if you think Wham's going to win this. Two's if you think Puppypaw's taking it. The blob is big. Really big. We've got Spearmen coming. Spearmen aren't terrible against Musafadi, by the way. Especially when you add in the Katana Bannerman. They actually fight quite well into them. In addition, there's also the extra melee tech, right? So, like, Spears for Japanese can trade here really well. And Puppypaw hasn't got archers. So, if Wham gets enough time... Because the other problem I'm seeing here is, like, Puppypaw is blobbing, but he needs a go, right? Once you reach 200 population, you start to lose value as Malians, unless you tech. That's dangerous here. Like, Japan in that matchup, not too bad once you reach into Imperial. There's also the risk of his economy going too wide here. One player is hunkered down, walled up, static defensed. The other is not. The only static defense came in the center of the map. Sofas are once again looking for entry, but there's just so many outposts. Remember that part where I said that these two playstyles are very different? Even though they seem like they play similar because they scrim so much, Puppypaw is the aggressor, Wham is the defender. They pick civs to embody that, and they're playing it that exact way. See if defending works out for Wham here. Puppypaw looking to strain him a bit. He's going to raid in on the villagers. Textiles is there to minimize the losses against Sofa. But he's going to hang around long enough to strike down a few. Needs to keep shuffling by. Wham could go for the warlord to force him deeper, and Puppypaw, already aware it's coming, is going to keep on running. West side, we've already got spears here to block this attack, though. A good idea by Puppypaw, but Wham reacting appropriately. And we do have the confirmation the mangonels are coming in. Dangerous against Musafadi, but remember, when you're defending your base, they can't stealth to gap close. We do have one relic, second one coming. Wait, he didn't see that. What? How did he do this? I understand the 2 on the south, but Wham grabbed the western relic as well. This is a 5 relic Japanese game with a 20 eco lead against Fulani, which is full now, but I mean, what, level 2 Daimyo should be coming in soon? I'm feeling like this game might be slipping from Puppypaw. He needs to go soon. He's close to blow it at 200. Once he's there, he can't hesitate. There's multifaceted raids as well. Onibigisha ready to react to the Musafadi. Central massament not big enough to threaten here. The east side is the weak point. It's where the Sofas keep on striking. Moves in. Spearman placement's not going to make this easy, though. Fortifications also coming through, so Wham truly now hunkering down. But you know, usually in this position, you'd be screwed due to a lack of gold. Yorishiro drops into the blacksmiths, as well as the fact he's got 5 relics, means that he can weather the storm here. Of Got to wrap around the back here. Looks like he actually found a weak point. Okay, I feel like you stonewall this just to be safe. He hasn't stopped at the farmhouse. That is going to buy time. So actually, Wham will be able to shove him away. I almost feel like Puppy Paw needs a third group. He tried, but the third group was really underwhelming. Wasn't a real threat. Molo coming in. Puppy Paw. Puppy Paw, what? Uncomfortably close. He does pull away there. An ambitious dive. Luckily quick enough before the spears could gap close. Still, these static defenses make this harder and harder. Another Wololo. He's herding him like sheep. The backstab has failed. Wham! Able to wipe out the flank force, but the big dive's coming in. Puppy Paw knows it's now or never. He marches in. The mangoes here. The Wollos were already forced. He doesn't have them for defensive usage here. Sofa just need those mangoes. Turns for shots. Musafadi are bulked up. Can he hold? Can he save himself? He drops the relic. He runs to the other one. He needs it right now. Wham! Making what looks like his last stand. The mangoes are gone though. Puppy Paw refuses to be denied. And the Sofa sniped out the Shinto. Wait, did he? He just didn't bother. GG gets called. Puppy Paw able to show that quantity beats quality. The most Zergy matchup you can get in Age of Empires 4. You know, this was really well orchestrated by Puppy Paw. We were close to the point where this fails. And I'm not exaggerating. He was so close to reaching that threshold where Wham's static defenses and his slow-moving army would have been big enough to contest. But he read his timing perfectly here before the economy could truly give an advantage. Well played by him. Great defense efforts by Wham. But Puppy Paw showing you still how powerful the Fulani and that Malian Zerg timing is. But still more to come. Puppy Paw takes the lead. But 4 more games potentially still ahead of us. I'll see you all in the next one.